Let me give you a story and a case scenario of things that actually happened that I was able to realize that your environment really matters. Even if you are destined to be poor, let me say it, even if you are destined to be poor and then you find yourself living among rich people, with time it would rub off on you. Know this and know peace. There is a proverb in my language, uh, in Yoruba, that says, Àgùntàn tó bá bájá rìn, á jẹ́. Hello, everyone. Good evening and a very happy new year to you. All right, so I'm very happy and glad to be alive today. This is New Year 2024. So 2023 was a lot, like it has its up and downs, its lows and highs, its rainy days and the sun shines, and I'm grateful it's over, and then this is a fresh page. So if you are just joining us for the very first time, or you are just checking out this channel for the first time, my name is Joshua Ogunremi. So, and welcome to a channel. So basically, this channel is aimed towards helping everyone develop and grow personally. So what I'll just be discussing today is something that I feel like most achievers they actually face, and especially most people who know they can get more out of their life, who want more out of whatever they are currently doing, but then they haven't gotten it yet. Now, I actually faced this stuff that I want to discuss about, and it's something related to a question I may have probably asked myself before, or I've gotten like someone to ask from me before. And it's basically, there's this thing when you set a goal and you don't achieve it, and then you're scared of setting another goal, or you lower your goal when you're trying to set a new one, all because you didn't achieve the previous one before. Now, it's very normal. It's very normal. It's one thing I should appreciate about people who think like that is that they are realistic. Now, I can be this kind of person who sets very high goals, unimaginable goals, that even when you ask, although I'm not the best though, even when you ask me that, what's your goal? And then I mention it, it feels like, are you a kid? Like most times it feels like I've had that kind of responses from people when it feels like, are you joking? Like, are you for real? I like is this actually possible? And even most people will say, you can do it, it's possible. I know to them it feels like, okay, they are just motivating me. But then, not like I achieve those goals, not like I really get them. But then I just like giving myself I because it makes I'm a kind of person that likes getting motivated. Before I used to be this kind of person that I like somebody pressuring me. I like pressure. I work under pressure. But I got to know that most times pressures won't actually, you should not allow yourself to be pressured from outside. Rather, you should be internally pressured. You should have this kind of mentality that you have to do things, you have to achieve some things, you have to be disciplined enough to know that you need to do things even when you don't feel like doing it. Now, I've listened to a lot of podcasts, I've watched a lot of video, and they have been mind blowing. They've been helping me grow. And one thing that every successful person who we probably see today tell you is that motivation doesn't last. Motivation doesn't last. One of the best things that you would do or you would have as an entrepreneur or somebody that is trying to grow in life is that you have to have self-discipline. You've got to have self-discipline. All right, now back to the issue at hand. Now, yeah, when do people feel scared of setting goals? Now, one thing that can actually affect people to actually think this way or feel scared of certain goals is due to the kind of environment that you currently find yourself in. I think that's one of the things that affects people a lot, especially when you are from a community that doesn't really support the growth you are trying to get into. Now, when I mean support, I don't mean they are against you or they are haters or they are potatoes who are potating. So basically, it definitely means it's strange. It's a strange thing you are trying to achieve. It's a strange thing you are trying to do. It's a new thing that is strange that you are trying to achieve, they are trying to do, they are trying to get into, they are trying to aim towards, they are trying to, get. It's a strange goal. That is why it feels overwhelming. It feels unbelievable. I can tell you for sure, if you get to some places and you lay your goals down in the front of someone, the way they would address your goal, you would feel so low. Like this isn't really as big as I expected. Now, I've had let me give you a story and a case scenario of things that actually happened that I was able to realize that your environment really matters. Now, this is one of the factor of the things that affects you setting your goals low, of you feeling down about you setting your goals. Number one, your environment. Definitely, because I think that is one of the most important reason that would actually create the kind of mind, the kind of person that you are. Now, as humans, we are innocent when we first get into the world, but there are limitations that start getting set in us right from the time we start to see things going on in the environment, in our house, in your family, and everything. Now, like I was saying, I want to tell the story of two case scenarios. So I had this lady who's my team, two ladies who are in my team, and then this other lady, she found it hard to make money. She found it hard to make money. She kind of struggled somehow to make money, and sometimes it feels overwhelming for her. But then there is this other lady that before, even before like going into you know, the part where she starts learning the necessary skills that she needs to actually make money, she was already making money. I'm trying to find a way to actually explain that part very well. But she was already making money. Now, on going deep into it, I realized that this lady is actually from a kind of environment where, she has nice family and they are currently doing well, they are doing fine. And then she's not into the business because I'm currently in a business that helps people to make money through freelancing and network marketing. So, and then I realized, and most times some of the stories about, you know, in our case scenario in my part is that people get into our kind of business because they did not have a good background or they were not comfortable with the way they were living, or basically let's just say they were broke. So, which was something that happened to me. I must be honest. I was broke, like dead broke. Not that you understand. So, and then I realized that this lady was into the business all because she was broke, but because she just wanted financial independence. Her family was doing well, she was doing fine. So, making money wasn't really seen as a special thing for her, but rather she just wanted financial independence. So, she expected that it belongs to her. So, it affected the way she spoke with clients online. She affected the way her attitude towards work. It affected the way she read books. It affected everything. And then she got the results. Now, your environment really matters because your environment will determine the kind of friends that you keep. It will determine the things that you consume. It will determine the way you will see yourself. Because it's just like the saying, among five people, if you are in the middle, even if you are a rich person, like I always tell some people, even if you are wealthy, you are rich, and then for 6 months you stay among people who have low mentality, who are mentally low, not as an insult, but you understand what I'm trying to say, who are mentally low in the way they think, subconsciously you would start to act like them. Just like someone who possibly does not know how to bake cake. You don't know how to bake cake, but you find yourself living among, you know, cake bakers or cake makers. You would realize that you may go out there and have a conversation with some people, and then if somebody speaks about a flavor in the cake, or probably say something wrong about it, you find yourself correcting the person. Why? Because you will spend tangible time among people who are doing what? Who bakes cake. Now, also, if you are destined, 'cause it's just more like we have here in the culture here, like some people are destined not to be rich, some people are destined to be poor, whatever. Even if you are destined to be poor, let me say it, even if you are destined to be poor, and then you find yourself living among rich people, with time it would rub off on you. Know this and know peace. It will drop off on you. So your environment really matters a lot in the way you do what, in the way you think, the things you achieve, and the way you act. Do you understand? Now there is a proverb in my language, uh, in Yoruba, that says, "Àgùntàn tó bá bájá rìn, Ajegbe. So, which basically translates to a dog's, I mean, a sheep that follows dogs would definitely eat feces, shit. Do you understand? So, if you move with the wrong people, with time, you will start, imitating them. You will start acting like them. You start doing like them. Now, to the main topic at hand. Now, one thing you should realize is that when you set goals or when you try something new, you would never be good at it. That's just it. You will never be good at it the very first time you try something. The first time I tried driving a car, I yeah, it was my uncle car. Very funny story. The first time I tried driving a car, I almost hit it against the wall. So when you're trying something out for the very first time, you would certainly not be good. You would not be good. It is for sure. You can ask anywhere. You can't expect yourself. Most times when most people, some people are given tasks to do something, you are not expected to do it beautifully well the very first time you try it out. You're expected to fail at it. But one thing you should realize that you should fail forward. You should fail and learn. You should fail and learn. You should fail and improve. You should fail and develop. That's one thing you should understand. Most people try, they run away from, responsibilities because they feel they are not yet perfect enough to actually, take hold of those responsibilities. But mind you, will never be perfect at it if you don't do it at all, if you don't try it in the very first place. A public speaker doesn't get perfect the first time you start speaking. A comedian doesn't get perfect the first time he or she tells his or her joke. An actor and an actress doesn't get perfect the first time he or she tries a role. Do you understand? A business person doesn't get perfect, doesn't make millions the first time they start. You have to try it and fail forward. There is a quote that I love by that I had from Alex Omozi, and it says, "Volume negates luck." Yeah, that's the code. Volume negates luck. The rule about it is the more you try, the more you do, the more you get better at it. Now, most people get lucky. Yeah, that's just it. Most people get lucky. You may get lucky at the very first thing you try. You may start a business now and then you make, some sales. You may have your first speech and then you have applause. You have people applauding you. You may try your comedy for the very first time and then you have people, laughing. You may try your sales for the first time and then you make your first sale. You could get lucky. But volume, quantity matters. I tell people a lot, and it's something that I've actually learned. Now, you don't wait to be quality before you actually start something. If not, you would never be what you want to be. Quantity beats quality because the more you do, the more you get better at it. So if you're probably a freelancer and then you are waiting for the perfect time, you get perfect and you get good at learning proposals before you start sending proposals on Upwork, for instance, you would never send anything. And someone who is probably sending time by time and learning from it every time would do what? Would beat you at it. Because while you are learning, this person is already doing it and gaining the experience that is needed. That is one difference between, I watched forgotten the title, but it's a story of Elon Musk, SpaceX and NASA. And that is one big difference between the two of them. NASA tries to have everything into writing, write everything down, make all calculations, all prediction, and all that before they start something. But SpaceX, even though it isn't comfortable, even though they're not happy with it, they try something out. They probably, send a rocket out there, try to send it out to space. They break something, they fix it. They make a mistake, they correct it. And look at them now. That's one of the things that made Elon Musk the richest man in the world as of today. Because of what? Of trying multiple times. So if you're a network marketer, for example, now you have to try speaking to people multiple times. Now, most people put themselves in this kind of situation where they feel like I need to read a lot of books. I need to learn a lot before I can start it. Come on, man, you would only learn best by trying it. In fact, if you do more, if you try more, if you prospect more, if you talk to people more, you would be better at it than people who do what? Than people who read only. Now, I'm not trying to say you shouldn't learn. There are places that you should learn. But you shouldn't put yourself in this trap or in this phase of learning where it feels like you have to be perfect at it before you actually start. That is one mistake that I see most people make and that I have made as well. Yeah, I feel like okay, I need to read all the books. I need to read how to win friends and influence people. I need to read books about action taking. There was a time I was reading 10x rule. Then I've read 10x rule for like 3 times, and then I was about to take it again and read 10x rule. I was like, damn, fuck you, man. Permit my word. Fuck you, man. What the fuck do you want to read from this again that you can't do? Just go fucking do the job. Just go do what you're supposed to do. You know what you ought to do, man. You know what you ought to do. Just go do it. There's no trying to learn your way through everything, trying to learn, become the best at it before you try it out. You won't win that way. Now, I started this YouTube channel. I don't know where it's going. But then one thing, because it has been on my mind for a very long time, and one thing that I used to kill myself or used to shoot myself in the leg was that I need to get the perfect camera. I need to get a boom box or a boom mic rather, a boom mic. I need to get AirPods. I need to get the best equipment. I need to read books, script out everything I want to say before I start it out. But no, I never started. You would only get better at it once you start at your lowest point. Now, this is not to say it would get sweet and rosy with time, like automatically, but you continuously learn and you get better at it. Volume negates luck. Volume negates luck. So that's my first point. Your environment matters a lot. Your environment matters a lot. So now moving forward, another thing I would like to mention also about setting goals and you feeling scared about, you did not achieve your goals. It's about process. It's about process. Now, I want to ask this question. If you set a goal and let's say this is your goal, and then you don't have the process, you don't walk through it, but you have it in your mind that you set a goal. But you don't set a goal, but you walk through the path of success. Which would do you think you would achieve your goal more? Which one do you think you would be successful at? Definitely it would be you walking through the path of your goal. Now, this is me not trying to say you shouldn't set goals. One thing from that I read, uh, I think I've forgotten the book. Let me see if I can remember. Yeah, I remember Atomic Habits. Atomic Habits. Now, one thing I learned from Atomic Habits that your habits will determine where you go. Your attitude will determine your altitude. Do you understand? Now, if you live the life of a person that wants to achieve the goal you are trying to set, you will definitely achieve the goal subconsciously, even without you knowing. Now, most people set goals, but they don't work the goals. Most people set the goals, but they don't work the goals. Excuse me. So, what's your habits? What's your daily habits? What are the things you're doing? What are the things you get yourself into? What are the things you're doing every single day, every single time? You can't set a goal you want to achieve this and that, and you don't learn, you don't take actions, but instead you scroll through the web, go into conversations that are not productive, and do things that are basically out of bound of your goals. You won't achieve them. Or you're lazying around, or you're making excuses, or you're complaining. You will not achieve anything. Do you understand? So your habit matters a lot in your goal. Your habit matters a lot in your goal. Best thing is you have your goal and then you start working towards it. You have a goal to make any certain amount of money. People that are doing those things, what do they do? When do they wake up? You can't expect yourself to achieve whatever you want to achieve at the highest thing you want to achieve. Okay, let me give you an example. For example, now let's say network marketing, you don't achieve to step up to a higher status or probably one of the highest status, and then you don't talk to people, and then you judge people, and then you prejudge them. You feel like, okay, this person isn't a good fit. You're trying to you segregating or you filtering in some way. You won't. You just have to do it to know whether you're good at it. Habits. You have to create the habits. You have to create the habit of working towards your goal, of being the kind of person that you want to be, the kind of person that achieves that goal. Do you understand? Does it make sense? All right. So that's two. I spoke about environment and I spoke about your habits. You have to develop a good habit. You have to develop a good habit towards goal. You have to develop a good your environment. You have to be careful with the kind of people you move with. If not, you can just change your environment. Doesn't matter. Like it's you against you. It's nobody against you. You are your greatest enemy. No matter what people say, you matter. No matter what people say about you, no matter if they try and say you're crazy, no matter you understand where you are aiming for, you understand what you are going towards, and then there is nothing great that is done without facing obstacle. Nothing great is done without facing obstacle. Nothing great is done without trying over and over again. Nothing great is done or is achieved by trying once and achieving it, except luck. But luck doesn't always work. You have to be able to go to, you have to be able to, do it enough, be well, you know, exposed and knowledgeable about something that you're doing, that every time becomes luck for you. Every time it becomes luck for you, that it doesn't it now seems like you don't even know how to fail again. Like when people ask you how do you I don't know how to fail, I don't know how to succeed. Okay, that's like a system. You already have a system. You already know this. If I put one and one together, it turns to two. If I put two and two together, it turns to four. You don't know how to fail again. Your environment, your habits. So now moving on. So those are some of the two main things that you should take notes of. Those are the things that would hinder you. Those are the things that will make you scared of setting your goals. Okay, so when you're setting goals on, you have to be careful of your environment and you have to be careful about, you have to take note of about your habits. Now, now what is the thing that you should do when you set a goal and you did not achieve it, and then you are in a new year and then you have to set another goal? Now, don't fall into the trap of feeling like, let's be realistic. Last year wasn't good. Last year didn't go as planned. So let me just bite what I can chew. Let me just cut my coat according to my size. No. One of the things that I would advise you to do, that I would advise myself to do, even though it feels scary and it feels easier said than done, is that you actually 10x it. You actually 10x it. That's one of the things that you should do when you're trying something and you didn't achieve it and then you want to go again. You do not stop. You do not reduce your power. You do not reduce your momentum. So whether you're failing at something and whether you're succeeding at something, you have to increase the power, because that's the only thing that will guarantee your success. Now you have to reflect. Reflect on your goals. That's one of the most wonderful thing that I feel like the greatest gift as an entrepreneur, the ability to actually reflect on your past. What are the things that I did right? What are the things that I did wrong? Now, you don't go down to the level of your goal. You don't go down to the level of your goal. You go high. You don't bring your goals. Okay, let me put it like that. You don't bring your goals down to your level. You go high to the level of your goal. You go high to the level of your goal. You don't bring your goals down to your level. You don't know who you are. That's just it. You don't know who you are currently. You are greater than who you think you are. And stop diminishing yourself. Stop failing yourself. Stop disappointing yourself. You actually aim higher. Do you understand? Now, you've had the experience. And that is one thing that you should be grateful for. You've had the experience of actually going through these things and then, failing at these things and not achieving your goals. It is a gift. It is a gift. It is a it is a gift. Okay, so that is one beautiful gift that you have. You have the gift of experience. Now, what are the things that you didn't do well? Is it the relationship with people? Is it that you didn't learn enough? Is it that you were not prepared? Is it that you didn't take much action or enough action? Now, what do you need to do? You have to go back to it, set higher goals. Now you have the experience. You don't come down to it. It's more like you giving up. And before you know it, you also do less. But if you set your goals higher and you 10x it. What do you expect? Even though you don't achieve your goals, which you can, even though you don't achieve your goals, which you can, but then you would not fall down below average. Do you understand? You will not fall down below average. But imagine you set a goal of 7, definitely you will not go above 6. You will not go above 6. You either fall at 5, 5, 6, 5, 6. But if you set a goal of 17 and you put the effort, and then you know what is needed for you is probably 10, you probably fall at maybe 14, 15. But then your main goal was actually 10. Now you achieved more than what you expected. Do you understand? Does this make sense? Now reflect back on your goals and do what? Put more fire. Put more fire to whatever thing you actually set before that you did not achieve. Set it again and 10x it, man. 10x it. Put more fire to it. Try it again. Do it again. You will have the gift of experience. You've passed through the fire. You only can move forward. You only can fail forward. Do not be scared. So going back to it, your environment matters. You have to have friends, family that support whatever you are trying to get. Now, your family, most times people mistake family for your blood relation. Sometimes it doesn't always work like that. Your family can be anywhere. Your family can be the people who are pursuing or are trying to get whatever you're aiming towards, or who have probably gotten it. Now, do not lose the role of mentorship. Do not lose the role of leadership. Somebody who has gotten that thing you want to get, you have to take them, you have to learn. An entrepreneur who wants to succeed should not be proud. You should continuously learn. Learn from the best in whatever community, in whatever organization, in in whatever department or industry that you're trying to get into. It could be anything. Even if you want to be a farmer, you have to learn from the best farmer. Do you understand? So you have to learn. That is one thing. Personal development too matters a lot. Now, don't set your goals low. You already know that, right? Don't set your goals low. Set it high. But you have to do what? You have to put in some things. Change your environment, change your family, your habits. You have to take in the habit of somebody who is trying to achieve something. You have to take the role of mentorship, take it very serious. Take it very serious. You have to have a mentor, you have to have leadership, you have to have people. Sometimes you even have to serve just so you can learn more, just so you can get more, just so you can personally and confidently undo yourself. Does this make sense? So another thing, you have to understand and you have to be ready with the fact that it's not going to be easy. It's going to be tough. You would work. It's going to be discouraging. Naysayers would come. You would be disappointed in yourself at times. There are some times you would ask yourself, who sent me? Who sent me? Why am I doing this? There are some times you will feel like quitting. There are sometimes you feel like giving up. There will be distractions. There will be side tractions. But you have to have full focus. Full focus. This year 2024 is my year of learning and trying new things. Focusing on things. So I hope you are too. And I hope in its little way you have to put in the role of book reading, like learning from people in your industry, people in that thing you're trying to achieve, who are eating it big, who are smashing their goals, who feels like, are they performing magic? You have to learn from them. Continuous learning. You have to understand where they are coming from. You have to understand what they are doing. You have to understand that it's going to be tough. You have to understand that it was tough for them. You have to understand that Rome wasn't built in a day. You have to set your goals high. Does this make sense? So I hope I was able to pass a little bit of message in some way or the other. So this is a community for we learning, we learn. I am not perfect. I am just somebody out there who is trying and still trying life for himself. I don't have a car, I don't have a house, I don't have anything, but I just have things on my head, and then yeah, I'm currently learning also and taking actions and things that I should do. So if this actually made sense, you can share it with someone. Share it with a friend probably needs this. It could not be for you. It can be for somebody close by who would need this. So if you're an high achiever and then you know somebody who wants to be an high achiever, if you're ambitious, you would definitely get some little bit of value from this. So thank you very much, and then I look forward to having you in my next video. So if you have any questions or probably you have any topic you want us to treat, you can just let me know. Or you probably have any experience you'd like to share with me, or you probably want to teach me one or two things. I'm always up for learning. We can discuss. We can discuss. Hopefully soon we'll probably be inviting some people so it, it doesn't seem like it's only me doing this thing. I would like to probably be inviting people. So it's a development I'm working towards. So inviting people where we have talks and you probably throw some questions to me or to us. So thank you very much, and then I appreciate your time and efforts, in trying in working in watching this video. So this is year 2024. I want us to achieve big things. That is just my dream. That is just my goal. I want us to achieve big dreams. I want us to go high. I want us to be high achievers. I want people among me, people around me, to be their best self, to be their best version. You understand? So kill your monster, whatever is aiming you. Like just like a book said, basically kill the little bitch. The little bitch is inside of you. You don't have any enemy. So let's achieve things high, let's succeed, and let's be happy. So thank you very much, and God bless you.